Yo, I ain't even gonna hold you, bro. We about to have a good stream today, bro. I'm be trying to stream all day. I'm gonna have a couple of videos, bro, out for y'all. I'm gonna just be playing a couple of games, man. Y'all already know what time it is. Uh, I got the video up right now, so let's get straight into it. You already know. Well, yeah. Here we go. I mean, is the volume up? Was this ad not got volume? Yeah, the ad didn't have volume. I was about to say, what's wrong with my computer?
And we're kicking off with L.A. Knight, who wasn't on last week's SmackDown due to a health issue, resulting in plans changing the show where he was supposed to align with John Cena. WWE has kept quiet about Knight's health since then, but it now looks like Knight could be aligning himself with Big Match John very soon.
Not.
WWE sources who reached out to PW Insider confirmed that Knight is expected to return on tonight's SmackDown, but there's no word on what he'll do on the show. After Knight was pulled last week, Cena was paired with AJ Styles, but during the show, Styles was laid out by the Bloodline, leaving John without a partner again. At this time, Cena is scheduled to face Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa at Fastlane in a handicap match, but with Knight's return imminent, expect that to change to a tag team match soon enough.
But we don't need no more goddamn tag
teams. Punk was fired from AEW.
I'd rather see The Rock return than LA Knight.
Close to a decade after Punk infamously walked out of the promotion. If Punk wishes to wrestle again, WWE may be the only ones able to pay his high asking price, and while some names in WWE are said to have heat with Punk, Shawn Michaels isn't among them. During a media call to promote this weekend's NXT No Mercy show, Michaels was asked about bringing Punk back into the fold and said that of course he'd welcome him in NXT. Michaels added that he's not sure if Punk would go to NXT or would rather go straight to the main roster, and went on to say that he's always liked Punk, adding that he's a different kind of cat. Perhaps that's why Michaels, who had his own share of heat in his youth, likes Punk, and the NXT head made it clear that Punk returning to WWE isn't his call to make. Michaels would like to have Punk in NXT, but said, "I don't think they'll let me," before acknowledging that his comments may get him in trouble with higher-ups. Punk has said he's free for 2 months, which some believe is a sign of a WWE return at November's Survivor Series, and as far as HBK is concerned, he's got no issue with a CM Punk comeback. Unless a new deal with WWE has been reached in secret, Edge's WWE contract will expire tomorrow.
Bro, let this old timer go, bro.
From WWE's
They trying to save this man, bro. He don't want to be saved. Don't save him.
If a deal hasn't been reached, it'll mark the end of Edge's 25 years with WWE,
bro,
as he has remained under a variety of different contracts over the years.
He can't even go in the ring.
He may not be off of TV for long. As pointed out on Wrestling Observer Radio, Edge's contract expiring tomorrow means he'll be a free agent on October 1st, the same day as AEW's Wrestle Dream event. Perhaps Edge will do something with Christian Cage if he joins, as the two have a storied history. And do you think we'll
I won't watch AEW. I'm not even going to entertain me watching that.
In the comments.
I won't even know what's going on.
This week's AEW Dynamite, Adam Cole appeared on crutches and with his leg wrapped up, and spoke about the injury he suffered the previous week when coming out to support MJF. As we reported yesterday, some have questioned the nature of Cole's injury, with some believing the title. That he was the masked man who attacked Jay White at the end of the show to try and frame MJF. In an update, Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select dove deep into the nature of Cole's injury, stating, "Due to the nature of pro wrestling, many question if Adam Cole's injury was legitimate. Deadlock Pro Wrestling announcing his match against Chris Dagger following the injury. They'd later say the match is off due to injury, and the masked men showing up at the end of Dynamite led some to suspect he wasn't injured. The word within AEW is that he is legitimately scheduled for surgery and will be out for quite some time. When seen, he was wrapped and had crutches and required help traveling. So if for some reason he wasn't hurt, everyone else isn't in on it." The report maintained that there was optimism among the AEW roster that he had just suffered an ankle sprain, but now that is no longer the situation.
Ankle sprains only last for 1-2 weeks.
My name's Daryl Dixon.
Even then,
I went out looking for something.
Your leg ain't the same.
All I found was trouble.
It took me a whole year to get I lay
So
back
if
to
Cole is
where it
legitimately
needs
hurt
to be.
and didn't
Because I
attack
had
Jay
a
White, who
ankle
did?
sprain.
Well,
Not
some
that
have
it
pointed
took
their
us
fingers
a
at Ricky
year to
Starks,
recover,
who
but
took to Twitter to say
you know,
it
you
wasn't
still
him,
felt it.
but he knows who
But
it
everything
was.
wasn't the same.
Stark's claim of knowing may be in jest, as he said fans will have to pay his Patreon to find out. And who do you think led the masked gang that attacked White on Dynamite? Despite being AEW's flagship show, this week's Dynamite had just 4 matches, and it turns out that 2 of them were at one point up in the air as to whether they'd happen. During Wrestling Observer Radio, it was said that Nick Jackson wasn't expected to wrestle heading into the show, and that there was a scramble to get him some ring gear for his triple threat. Jackson defeated Claudio Castagnoli and Brian Cage to earn a title shot at AEW International Champion Rey Fenix, who also almost missed out on competing this week. Phoenix's first title defense against Jeff Jarrett only happened after Phoenix was cleared by AEW's medical team, as it was feared he'd sustained an injury during last week's win over Jon Moxley. This match, like Jackson's, went ahead on Dynamite, but the show experienced several issues with its feed during the show, an issue Tony Khan apologized for on Twitter. Khan said that there were issues at TBS with a new operating system, and hopefully these issues won't persist with upcoming episodes of AEW content. It's been just over a week since WWE's most recent wave of roster cuts, and one name who was let go was Mansoor, which came as a surprise to many. Some had suspected that WWE would keep Mansoor around for their Saudi Arabia shows, if nothing else, but one of Mansoor's biggest victories at a Saudi show earned him a ton of heat. During a recent Twitch stream with Mace, Mansoor recalled a huge roster meeting at Super Showdown in 2019, where everyone was eager to know who'd be winning a 51-man battle royal. When producer Jamie Noble said that the NXT kid's winning, everyone stared daggers at Mansoor, and later in the day, Mustafa Ali told him he had a ton of heat with the boys. Not only did the newcomer have heat for the match, but Ali told Mansoor that he hadn't said hi and shook people's hands, a tradition in the business that continues to this day. Kofi Kingston and Cesaro were said to be especially annoyed, which hurt Mansoor as a fan of both men, and the Saudi star did what he could to try and mend fences with many on the roster. Mansoor even told Luke Gallows mid-Battle Royal that he's a big fan of Gallows and Anderson's podcast, and the future model was able to shake hands and make amends after the match. As we've mentioned, Shawn Michaels spoke with the media ahead of this weekend's NXT No Mercy show, an event that Mustafa Ali was supposed to be a part of. Ali was set to take on North American champion Dominic Mysterio at the show, and on the call, Michaels noted that the card needed to be changed, and Trick Williams has benefited. Michaels added that he heard
I still
about
think
Mustafa
Dominic
Ali's
was going to
WWE
retain,
release just before
and if he
Ali
doesn't,
himself,
it wouldn't make
said
sense.
he was not
Not that I
involved in the
watch
decision at
NXT,
all.
but
Ali's
just,
release, like
you know,
David Brooke, was
seems kind of
accommodated
random.
by the main roster higher-ups, as
I
they
would
were
like him to
seemingly
lose
under
in
main
like a
roster
fatal 4-way,
contracts who were spending a stint
something
with
like
the Gold
that.
brand. Looking to the future, Michaels
Maybe the
announced
winner
NXT's next event, Deadline,
defends his
saying it'll
title
take place
against
on December
Dominic
9th in
on the
Bridgeport,
next
Connecticut,
episode,
and said that WWE
and
is
maybe
eager to
they
launch
retain.
NXT Europe next year. Michaels also discussed Gable Stevenson's NXT status, saying he intends to use him, but because of external commitments, the two sides are working to find the right balance for the Olympian. Stevenson has been participating in some live events in Florida and recently headlined one such show, and WWE NXT are currently in the process of organizing his
It was in there
schedule
cheering
for the future.
Corbin.
Speaking of relative newcomers, Michaels was also asked about Jade Cargill and said he recognizes the significance of signing her and described her as a diligent worker during training. Michaels is impressed by the ex-AEW star's presence, saying she will be well suited for WWE, and while he said he hopes for her to come to NXT, HBK is sure she will have great success no matter what brand she ends up on. Cargill is a huge signing.
I'm pretty sure she's gonna go to main roster.
Potential of if she joins NXT, but we'll just have to wait and see what's next for her as a WWE superstar. One
I mean,
fans
that's
can see
where
right
Samoa
now in
Joe
NXT
and
is Becky Lynch, who's returned
pretty
to
much
the
everybody
brand,
came
has
through
seen
NXT.
the man win title gold and has seen NXT's ratings climb to the highest number in years. At No Mercy, Lynch will defend against Tiffany Stratton in an
Yeah, she
Extreme
probably
Rules
going to
match,
NXT.
and when speaking to the New York Post, Lynch spoke about her move from Raw to NXT. Currently, we are a little light on women with credibility on Raw, so anyway, I can give these women who are great credibility, give them a match, give them an outing, and showcase them in a championship match. I think that only benefits everybody. It benefits the audience because we have more women that we care about and more women that I can beat. I need people to come up, I need people on this level, but if nobody's getting any TV time, if nobody's getting any story time, then they can't rise up because nobody knows who the hell they are. It's hard to gain momentum if you don't get no TV time, and it's hard to get TV time if there's nothing to fight for. We know that Rhea Ripley only likes hanging out with the lads, the Judgment Day, and doesn't like getting hit, so that's why I came along with my championship trying to give people some opportunities. I'm very grateful for my time, but I want more time, damn it. That's why I'll do all these things. That's why I'll go down to NXT. That's why I'll be on all the shows. That's why I'll be on dark matches on SmackDown, as well as being a mother and traveling and writing a book and all the other things I'm doing. Lynch's NXT Women's title win makes her WWE's 6th Grand Slam champion, but will her reign end this weekend at No Mercy?
6th Grand Slam
Time
champion.
will tell.
Oh, she's a
At
6th
AEW
Grand
All
Slam
In,
champion.
The promotion was thrilled to reveal that 81,035 fans were in paid attendance for the show.
It was actually only
breaking the record.
72. They got it wrong. Trey Miguel and Beyonce, Ashley D'Ambrose, Bryan Danielson. Let's see what's going on with Bloodline family member.
Earlier this week, it was revealed that ex-WWE superstar Manu was dealing with some serious health issues, and there's been some good news on his condition. In a statement, his mother told PW Insider that he is recovering and has been discharged from the hospital, and we're continuing to send our best to this member of the famed NOIE family. The last time Logan Paul competed in a WWE ring, he was besting Ricochet at SummerSlam.
I think he got a boxing match coming up.
There's been no word on what's next in the career of the Maverick. We do know that Paul will make his boxing return next month against Dylan Dennis, but when speaking to the New York Post, Paul made it clear that he will continue his wrestling career. Despite his limited schedule, Paul said he's a full-time wrestler, complete with contract and spot on the roster, and made it clear he wants to hold WWE championships. Paul said WWE has been very accommodating of his schedule, giving him time to box and wrestle, and outlined plans to take over the wrestling world as part of WWE. While some didn't agree with Paul joining WWE, his skills in the ring and on the mic can't be denied, and it may be a matter of time before we see Logan Paul's name in the record books of WWE's champions. It was during a match on the May 12th SmackDown that Dakota Kai suffered a torn ACL, and while she's been on TV alongside Damage Control, she hasn't been able to compete or get physical. Kai's injury is said to have occurred when she was trying to protect Liv Morgan, who also suffered a shoulder injury during this match, which pit Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez against Kai and Io Sky. On her Twitch stream, Kai gave an update on her injury, saying it typically takes 8 to 9 months to come back from, putting her return date around January or maybe February. This means that Kai could be a surprise entrant into the 2024 Women's Royal Rumble match, but that'll only happen if she's 100% and cleared, and for now, we can only wish her a speedy recovery.
I mean, it's nice
Speaking
seeing
of
her on
injuries,
SmackDown this
Ariana
week.
Grace tore her ACL in October of 2022, and after a lengthy recovery process, the second-generation superstar will have her first TV match in close to a year very soon. WWE announced that Grace will face Fallon Henley as part of NXT Level Up, and while she spent a lot of time injured, Grace has been active out of the ring. Grace, the daughter of Santino Marella, recently competed in the Miss Universe Canada pageant, where she was no doubt supported by her boyfriend.
Nah, everything else seemed like NXT and AEW. I don't watch NXT or AEW, so it's hard to get invested. Thank y'all